Well, we have a fantastic game on Friday, and that is, of course, Gujarat taking on Mumbai. I say fantastic because, look, there are various subplots as always, and this time it's Hardik Pandya taking on his old captain in Rohit Sharma. Yes, boys and girls, and ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching around, my name's Avnish Hegde, you're watching cricket.com, and thanks for all the subscriptions. We appreciate much more in due course of time, of course. But right now, right here, we have Dirk Nannes, who we've kind of stolen for the show. Dirk, first and foremost, how are we?
Excellent. It's been another big week of cricket, hasn't it? Surprising result to see Gujarat get knocked off in the last game, but onwards and upwards.
Yeah, surprising is the key word there, because I think it's all shaping up to a fantastic race for the playoffs, so that's still unpredictable, and that's what we always love about the IPL. We'll talk about Gujarat before we meander nicely to Mumbai then. Was it a timely check, that defeat to Punjab? Because Punjab, believe it or not, winning by 8 wickets, and 4 overs to spare? That's some win.
Yeah, that's a belting. But look, I guess it's just hitting a little speed bump, isn't it? A little blip on the road. I think it's a really tough ask to expect teams when they're in form to have prolonged wins, win, and go into the final and perform. Every real high quality team throughout a season historically has had a drop game here and there. So I'm not particularly fussed. Really puzzled why they win the toss and choose to bat. What are you doing? Yeah. Everyone wins chasing, so why are you winning the toss and batting? Anyway, it is what it is, and they had a loss, and I think they'll bounce back strong.
Okay, let's talk about that top order, which invariably comes under the scanner for Gujarat Titans, because Sai Sudarshan was, of course, the shining light with a 65 the last time up, but questions still to be answered by Shubman Gill, of course, who looked really good in the first 3 games. I think got 180 runs in those 3 games, and then after that it's been downhill for him. How did he kind of go back and reassess things? Should he just tell himself that buy some more time in the middle and then take it after the power play?
You could try and say something like that to your top order, just be a little bit more conservative. But he's just such a natural stroke player.
Yeah.
If he's just playing his normal game, and every now and then you get out. It's just the nature of cricket, isn't it? Mother cricket sometimes whacks you over the head, and sometimes it hands you a 5-course meal. That's just the nature of it, isn't it? And so at the moment he's having a run of outs, but his numbers are still good across the season. I don't think you can say he's had a terrible year, because his numbers are still pretty good. But yeah, he's gone wanting for a while. But I love his effortless stroke play, and I'd hate to hamper that. Even though he went out the other night, went out at the first ball of the 3rd over, he's still leaving the team 1 for 17 after 2 overs. It's still an okay position to come in batting number 3. It's not as though he's not striking and then they're not getting in okay position. So I'm not particularly fussed with him.
Okay, what about the other thing then, which of course perplexes fans a little bit? When you take a look at the top 5 run getters this season, they don't feature a Gujarat Titans player, or on the contrary, if you take a look at the top 5 wicket takers this season, they don't feature a Gujarat Titans player. Is that a cause for concern, or is that sometimes too much to think about?
I think that's a bit of over-analysis. They've had 1 loss, and we're talking about their negatives. As I just said, I believe their strength is in the way they've shared it. And I think that probably illustrates the point the best, is that they're on top of the table, clear on the top of the table, not just. And they've been able to share it around. They've got tons of people who are over 100 runs or more, 3 players over 200. They're really good numbers that they've got, and they're just sharing it around. And that is just a wonderful position to be in as a coach. Imagine being the coach and sitting there watching every one of your players perform. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just being too forensic. You're right. I think sometimes we just get so caught up with the numbers that we really tend to forget what these teams are actually putting out. So apologies to the Gujarat Titans fans from my side in terms of being too nitpicky about that. Right, let's move on to Mumbai Indians then, because they came away with a 5-wicket win, the first of their campaign this year against Rajasthan Royals, of course. Can they do another one over Gujarat Titans this time? Perhaps be the party spoilers that they are now?
They could. I don't think they will. I think they're the antithesis of what we see the Gujarat team. They've had a couple of players, and by and large, they're just wanting for people to perform a role, and they're not consistent at doing it. And I think that's the problem with Mumbai this season, is they don't have a shared collective effort across the year. Highlighted in their bowling, leading wicket takers, 7 wickets. The Gujarat Titans had 4 people over 7. They're just sharing it around, and Mumbai is not. And so I feel like that is where they're lost. And I think it's really hard to expect a team like Mumbai to suddenly start clicking and putting on performance after performance after performance after performance late in the season, when they've just been the whipping boys for the entire tournament.
Okay, what about Mumbai's captain then, Rohit Sharma? Because he's had an awful time with the bat, let alone captaining the side this time around. 17.2 is what he averages. Now, if my stats serve me right, that's the lowest average for a captain in an IPL season so far. How does he kind of go about arresting this slide, Dirk?
Well, I think the problem has been that I picked him to be leading run scorer of the tournament, I think.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty sure that that's one of the key reasons why he's not performing too well. He just has to go out and keep quality will always rise to the top, and it's just a matter of time until, as I said earlier, Mother Cricket comes around and starts giving him a little bit back. He's too good a player to be kept down. Who knows when that massive score's around the corner? Unlike Virat, you kind of wonder how he's going to score a run sometimes. During that lull in the middle of the tournament, he was just nowhere really. Rohit, I still feel can damage a team. So I don't think all is lost. I just think that the big score's around the corner soon for him.
Yeah, if that big score has to come, he needs to really kind of watch his wicket, so to speak, during the power play, because the numbers suggest that 66.7% of his dismissals this time around have come in the power play. Now, this is the most for him in his IPL season. Does that kind of paint you a picture of how he's been stuck in the first 6 overs?
But that's the way he plays, isn't it? And sometimes I think as commentators or pundits, we can get away with just saying, that's the big excuse, that's just the way he plays. But when you're at the top of the order, you've almost got a license to be shot straight away from the start. So I'd be reluctant to say to any top order player, any opener, watch, conserve your wicket. That's the last thing you would want an opener to be doing. I don't think there's any scope really for someone to say, take it easy, put a bit more value on your wicket, because that's why we love what he does. That's why he destroys teams. So why would you say to someone, take away the thing that really makes teams scared of you and put it away? No, I think that's the opposite of what you need to do.
Okay, let's see how that really unfolds, because it's 17 innings now, the most for him without getting an IPL 50. The last time he got one was, I think, exactly a year ago, if my memory serves me right. We'll just finish this match preview by asking you about a fellow compatriot in Riley Meredith, because his death bowling numbers has been exceptional in terms of the Mumbai Brigade, that is. 5 wickets, an economy of 8.6. You can't ask for more, can you?
It's been fantastic. Discipline. And what I like is he's really got clear plans. And often that's 50%, 80% really of bowling, is being able to come in and have a very clear plan and not be thrown off by what the batsman's doing, not be thrown off by the game situation. and know your strengths and bowl to it. And I think that's what he brings. He's fast, and he clearly understands what he's trying to do at the death. And I think sometimes some of his teammates are a little bit all over the shop, frankly. They just haven't really sort of delivered what the fields have been. I think that's what Merritt has done really well so far in the tournament.
Hope that continues from his perspective. Let's, of course, quickly get in your predictions before we wrap things up right now. Gujarat or Mumbai, because I can tell you Critlytics, which is the world's most powerful algorithm that we have here at cricket.com, have gone for Gujarat 59% to win this game. Do you concur?
The only reason I reckon they're 59% would be the toss. If it was a 50-50 contest, I reckon Gujarat are 85% chance to win the game. I reckon Gujarat are going to win the game.
Okay, and it's just inevitable that they get that Q next to their name in the points table, which will mean that they'll be the first team to qualify for this year's playoffs. That's all we have. Catch Dirk, of course, tomorrow night when we are unfolding this particular GT versus MI clash. That's all we have. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from us.